How's it going, and welcome back to the channel. In this video we're gonna have a look at Huion's brand new tablet called the Huion Inspiroy Q620M. It sounds a bit like a cyborg, but it's actually a pretty straightforward tablet. And what's interesting is that it's in the lower price range. So this makes it interesting because I know a lot of you want to start sketching digitally and maybe do your own redesigns with cars like I do, but you might not have the budget to spend on a display tablet. So this is a great starting tablet for anyone wanting to start out. And the thing is, when I get products like this, when I get markers or tablets like this to review, it's kind of hard for me to find bad things to say about them because I have such a low level of need for special features and bells and whistles. If the markers do what they're supposed to do, or let's take a tablet for example. If a tablet feels great, it has a good feel to it, it doesn't lag, it's a good price point, I'm all set. That's all I need. I don't need all the buttons on the tablet to get the job done, if that makes sense. So what we're going to do in this video is we're going to unbox it. I'm gonna show you what's inside of the box, all these pieces of it, and then we're going to plug it in, install the drivers, plug it in, and I'm gonna sketch some cool cars in Photoshop and see what I feel about the tablet and if it ticks all of my boxes. Alright, let's open up the box and see what's inside. The box itself is pretty sturdy with some padding on the inside. And once you open it up, you're presented with the tablet. The first thing you see is covered in this protective bag. And my first impressions when I picked this up is how light it was. I guess I'm used to my old Wacom tablet from 2007, which is a bit heavier than this one. The big feature on this new tablet is this scroll wheel, which we're going to go into a bit later. You can customize it to pan your canvas, to zoom in and out, or do whatever you want. And inside of this scroll wheel you have a button as well, which is fully customizable too. The only button on the outside is the power button, and all the buttons and connections are located on one side of the tablet. You also have these 8 customizable buttons on the side right beneath the scroll wheel. If you want to have some specific functions for those, you can do that inside of the Huion dashboard. You also get an installation guide, which is very simple. It's about 4 steps or something like that. And also these nibs that come inside of this donut, where you have 10 additional nibs. And the way you replace those is to just pull out the nib in the pen and just insert a new one whenever it gets worn out. Very straightforward stuff. And this little piece is the wireless receiver. So you plug this in to whatever computer you want to sketch on in the USB port, and you just turn on the tablet and you are good to go sketching wirelessly with this tablet, which is pretty cool. And I'm gonna show you the benefits of this later on in this video. The pen is the same pen that I have for my Huion Canvas 20. It feels a bit thick, but I'm getting used to it by now. I've used this for about 6 months or something like that. And it has 2 customizable buttons. Me personally, I only use one of them, and that is a right-click mouse, and that brings up all my brushes in Photoshop, which is the only function that I really need. If you want to charge your tablet, or if you want to use a wire with the tablet connected to the computer, that's what this cable is for. It's a simple USB power cable. So you just connect one end in the tablet and the other end in the computer's USB port. And this is a pretty cool feature. I don't have any Android phones, but if you have Android tablets or phones, you can connect these wireless devices to them and sketch on your tablet or phone using this tablet. And this is all wireless as well. So that's what's inside the box. Now I just want to make sure that it's easy to repack all the stuff, because if I were using this tablet to travel, I would like it to be very easy to unpack and pack, and you can use the box itself as a case. And it worked out pretty well for this tablet. Now that you have unpacked all of the stuff that's inside of the box, it's time to install the drivers. And you do that very easily by going to Huion's website, find your model of the tablet, download the drivers, and install them. The first thing you want to do when you plug this tablet in is to use the power cord, because the battery might be low and you might want to charge it up before you go into wireless, and you do that by using the power cable that's included in the package. Once it's all downloaded and installed, all you got to do is open up the Huion dashboard, where you can configure every single button and scroll wheel to do whatever you want them to do. Alright, so let's get into the sketching and let's try out this Huion tablet and see what it can do in Photoshop. So I wanted to hook it up to my laptop because if I'm using a tablet like this, and I will probably be using this for traveling, so hooking it up to laptop would be the obvious choice. And I of course wanted to try out one of the main features of the tablet, and that would be the wireless functionality. And more importantly, does it have any lag time compared to when connected with the cable? And I'm happy to inform that I did not notice any difference in response time. It's smooth and direct in Photoshop, and the pressure sensitivity is the same as what I'm used to with my Canvas 20 display tablet. I think the coolest part with the wireless feature is that it allows you to get as comfortable or uncomfortable as you like. One thing to notice is that compared to my Wacom tablet, I did feel that the Huion tablets by default, they require a bit more pressure to get those thick strokes, and it feels less linear than what I was used to. But this can of course all be configured in the Huion dashboard if you want to change that. When it comes to the surface of the tablet, it does have a nice texture to it, to resemble a paper surface. I honestly prefer the Intuos 3 surface, which is more glossy and slippery, but that's just a matter of taste. I think the best way to demonstrate the type of surface we have here is for you to listen to the noise it makes when sketching on it. So take a listen. So for the wheels and the buttons of this tablet, as with any tablet I've had throughout my life, I've never used any of them. I always use the keyboards in combination with the tablet. I have the keyboard on the side of the tablet and I have my fingers always on the undo button because that's the most common combination that I use. And I use the brush and eraser and all of these functions through the keyboard. And the optimal tablet for me would be a tablet without any buttons and just a large screen or sketching surface, which is why I love my Canvas 20, because it doesn't have any configurable buttons on it. It's just a massive screen. But if you want to configure it, it has 8 different buttons that you can configure, or 9 if you count the center button within the dial wheel. And you can of course program the wheel to do whatever you want as well. I have to say the scroll wheel in the corner has a very nice feel to it. The clicking noise and resistance almost feels like a safe. Take a listen. Now for the technical stats of the tablet, it has an active surface area of 266 by 168 millimeters, a wireless connection to any device with a USB port, 8,192 levels of pressure sensitivity, a 60-degree tilt angle in the pen, which means that if you tilt the pen and you have a specific brush, you can get wider strokes just like you would with a physical brush. And it has a 266 PPS report rate, whatever that means. So, what's the verdict? Well, it gets the job done. It has more features than I will ever need, but if you feel like you have to have a tablet with 9 customizable buttons and a scroll wheel built into it, then you might have a winner here. For me, the most useful new function of this tablet is the wireless functionality, and especially if you're working on a big screen, you can decide what distance you want to be from the screen. And of course, if I look at my desk myself, the less cables, the better. It's less messy and it reduces the possibility of my cats running into the cables, disconnecting the entire computer while I'm in the middle of editing and forgot to save for the last 2 hours. One thing I do wish that the tablet had built in though was a spot for this little USB wireless receiver, because it's easy to lose and sometimes it get randomly attacked by animals. With that said, it's a really good tablet and a good value for $87.99. The question is, do you need all of the features it comes with? And that's of course up to you to decide.